to breaking news now. That chase that Mike Rogers at the desk was alluding to. Let's go upstairs now to Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal for a look. Desmond?
Well, Susie and Juan, here we are in South LA. I believe we're on 113th Street here. We are in LAX's airspace as we make a southbound turn here onto Hoover Street. This is a suspected DUI driver. Now, not too long after this pursuit started, we know that a passenger got out and ran, and I believe I heard that LAPD was taking that person into custody. Obviously, it's the driver that they want as we go underneath the 105 freeway here. Kind of complicating things right now. They are in tracking mode, so the units are hanging way back. They've been wow, a lot of sparks there as he took that dip just a little bit too fast. We've had speeds up to 60 miles an hour on some of these streets. Slowed down a little bit, but still kind of bottomed out there. Definitely not good for this vehicle. This dark vehicle, try to get a make on this one. Might be a Chrysler or a Dodge sedan here. And again, there was one that bailed earlier, but the driver continuing here as we're southbound. South of the 105, I believe we're now headed westbound here through the streets of South LA. Juan and Susie.
Yeah, and here the problem is, Desmond, we're looking at very busy residential streets there, lots of cars parked on the side of the road there. Sparks. And as you see here, once again, hitting what looks like to be either a dip in the road or a speed bump, and you saw sparks as well now, didn't you, Des? Oh, what's happening here?
Yeah, some more sparks coming out there. Let's see now. They all of a sudden just stopped. Wonder if the vehicle got damaged or what, but you saw the units, even though they were in tracking mode, they weren't too far behind there. They saw the opportunity, and now they have completely caught up with the suspect. Wow, look at this. All of a sudden, the suspect just decided that's it. They bottomed out a couple of times. I don't know if something happened to the vehicle or what happened, but after fleeing from officers there for some time, they decided to give it up. And so here comes the suspect. We saw him. It looked like they threw the keys out the window. So for whatever reason, they've had enough. And here comes the suspect now.
Is that a lady?
All of a sudden, complying with officers.
I think it's a lady here.
Yes, it is.
No, I believe it's a woman. She's going to be walking backwards now towards those officers as they're yelling the orders out to put her hands behind her head. And oftentimes they'll make you show your waistband, but I don't know how she's going to do that, obviously, with the skirt situation on there. It looks like she's wearing a dress and getting on the ground there and going to, looks like she is complying, but as Desmond was saying, that they were actually in tracking mode for a while because this person oftentimes what the officers will do, because the danger to the public, because they're driving so fast. Desmond was talking about 60 miles per hour on surface streets, which is at an incredible rate of speed on surface
and driving
streets,
under the influence, right? Because this is a DUI suspect,
no less, exactly. So they want to take some of that pressure off, obviously, of the driver when they're driving so fast and possibly under the influence. But it looks like when they're in tracking mode, Juan, they don't go far. Of course, the helicopter takes over the operations, communication operations, but the officers, the black and whites on the ground, are very close by, and you saw how fast they actually came up to this car when the chase part of it came to an end here.
Now, and Desmond, you were telling us earlier that this driver apparently dropped somebody off. That person was brought into custody, and now here, well, now officers are going to be checking out the car first, right? Just to make sure to clear that?
Yeah, exactly. They don't want any kind of surprises here when they go to try to take her into custody, so they generally clear the car first or, kind of at the same time. But clearing the car first before they come and put handcuffs on her. Tracking mode, it's always kind of that double-edged sword where when you give the suspect that distance, sometimes they just have the 5 or 10 seconds that they need to be able to get away, get out and run wherever it is. But that was not the case at this point. For whatever reason, the suspect had just decided that they had enough. Maybe they had a couple of close calls and it really kind of freaked them out. They did bottom out. We saw sparks coming out of that vehicle, so not sure if that had if that played into any of that either. But for whatever reason, they decided that they had enough here off of Vermont and 120th, so just south of the 105 freeway, with the one suspect now being taken into custody.
Yeah. And no word whether or not this car was stolen or not. This was strictly a DUI type of pursuit where they wanted this person to pull over, right?
That was what we had heard, that it was just a suspected DUI.
All right.
And that other person that got dropped off, we heard the helicopter coordinating everything very well, getting those officers into place, and I believe they were able to get that passenger in custody as well.
All right, looks like she is now in handcuffs and being escorted to the patrol car. We want to thank Desmond Shaw and his crew in SkyCal for these shots, but we're going to move on to other news now.